So they're all the trade rumours. Now, we've lined up a couple of trades that we would like to see. We'll go one. We got 3 trades each.
One by one.
We'll go one for one. You can start.
So, I think I literally just touched upon this with Davis Bertans, but let's start with Philadelphia trading for Davis Bertans. What would we give up? Mike Scott, he's been awful this season. Jonah Bolden, he hasn't played for us this season, and a future first round pick. We haven't got many picks left because we traded him for Tobias Harris, so it's quite slim pickings. But I think this is a deal we have to get done.
Yeah, it is. You need a player like Bertans, but will the Wizards accept Scott and Jonah Bolden in a first round pick? I doubt it.
They're a tanking team. They might just want a first round draft pick for someone whose contract is up in the summer.
True, but I mean, it is getting something for a player they'll probably get nothing for. But you're looking at that first round pick, and is it going to be any good pick for them? Probably not. What year would that pick be? The next draft?
Whatever one they want.
whatever year they want.
We haven't got one this draft.
Oh, you haven't got one?
No.
I think we've got 2. So
We got yours.
No, you might have ours.
We might have yours.
You're not having ours. But yeah, likelihood of that trade happening.
I would give her a 6 out of 10.
Oh, we're rating them now. I would say. I would say 4. I can't see it happening, but how good it would be for the Sixers.
It would complete us.
Yeah, I think you'd give them the next step into becoming contenders again from the 6th seed. My first trade also involves the 76ers and also involves improving them and taking them to the next step. So with my trade, the Sixers would receive CJ McCollum. I can't say his name. CJ McCollum.
That's the one.
McCollum.
There you go.
Skal Labissiere and Anthony Tolliver, and the Trailblazers would get in return Tobias Harris and Mike Scott. I think it's a fair trade. Obviously, CJ is a great scorer, great player. Toby isn't any of that.
He can
consistently.
score.
He can score, but not consistently.
Yeah.
But it'd be something that I'd feel like they might be interested in.
Yeah, well,
They don't have much in the way of big men. I know he's not a big guy, but he can play power forward, and we've got Melo playing power forward at the moment. So it's a spot they might want to improve. And then losing Skal Labissiere plays minutes, doesn't put up many points. Tolliver's a good shooter, and then they replace him one good shooter with another good shooter. Mike Scott is a good shooter, not shooting too efficiently this season, but he is known for a good 3-point shot.
Yeah, and I think Portland are in that position now where they may as well try something new, because with Damon CJ, it's obviously not working. So they have nothing to lose there. But from a Philly perspective, because Toby is like the leader in our locker room, unfortunately he's the guy everyone likes. So I can't see us trading him. I wish we would do this trade, but I'd probably give it a very low percentage of happening.
Yeah, I would say again
2% out of 10. 2 out of 10.
Yeah, I would say 3 or 4, but again it'd be 10 out of 10 if it happened.
Yeah, it would be amazing if we could do this.
Very nice.
Very, very nice. So, my next one, I want to free Kevin Love.
I want to free Kevin Love too, but I couldn't find a home for Kevin Love when I was looking for a trade.
It took me a while. I had to think about which team has a lot of expensive contracts used on bad players. The Miami Heat. James Johnson is on a massive contract, and Dion Waiters, he hasn't played this season, and he's getting paid $12 million a year. So, I feel like the Cavs aren't going to get much back for Kevin Love. So I did this trade. Maybe not realistic. Maybe the Heat will have to throw in a pick. But basically, the Heat get Kevin Love, and the Cavs get James Johnson, Dion Waiters, and rookie Kezia Okpala. And maybe a pick if they need one.
I would say you have to throw a pick in there as well, because even if the Cavs would want to just tank and get rid of that big contract, they'd be taking on big contracts. And not even... Kevin Love's a big contract, but a good player. They'd be taking on big contracts in just...
But they are expiring soon, so they would get cap space. But yeah, I'd say if Miami haven't got many picks left, so maybe it'll have to be a couple second-round picks. But picks are better than nothing, I suppose.
I mean, yeah, but do you... second-round picks are just a bit dodgy a lot of the time.
I mean, Draymond Green was a second-round pick. Marc Gasol. Jeremy Grant, the best player of all time.
True, but... I mean, it's a trade we all want to happen, because free Kevin Love.
Get him on a playoff team.
send him to Houston with his best mate Russ.
And look, Miles Leonard has been their starting power forward. He's a bad player, but they've made him look good. So if they can chuck Kevin Love into that system, I'm sure you'll thrive.
Kevin Love and Bam Adebayo. Ha ha ha. I'll be a Heat fan for life. Yeah, likelihood of that trade happening?
4.
Yeah, I like how all of our trades so far is like, they're not going to happen, we just want them to happen.
It's what we want to see. This isn't our predictions of what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, likelihood of Kevin Love getting a trade, I would say like 6 or 7, but likelihood of this happening, 4. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think Miami really wants to mess with their starting
and I don't think
right
they'd want to play like Kevin Love, but I mean,
you never know.
Maybe. Let's go. My trade next. I get that Jeff Teague doesn't play for the Timberwolves anymore, but this is what I would want to happen if he was still there. So the Timberwolves would trade Jeff Teague to the Clippers, and in return they would get Mo Harkless, Jerome Robinson, and Patrick Patterson. Like I said earlier, Jeff Teague deserves to be on a contenders team and winning a ring. Then he'll go to Atlanta in the summer. But yeah, I mean, there's obviously likelihood of that trade happening is 0 because he doesn't play for Timberwolves anymore.
But that would have been a good trade.
Yeah, it was what I'd want to happen for Jeff Teague. He deserves a good home. Bless him. I mean, he's got a good home, but he deserves a ring home.
Yeah. Do you want to do your trade next? Because my last one is a bit of a
your one's a bit of a
nuclear
hefty
bomb.
Now, my next trade is something that I could possibly see happening. This one is probably the highest possibility trade, I would say.
I would probably agree with that.
So it's a deal between the Spurs and the Magic. The Magic would get DeMar DeRozan and Shamiz Mutu. Great name, Shamiz. And in return, the Spurs would get Aaron Gordon, Al-Farouq Aminu, Mo Bamba, and a 2021 first-round pick. Now, I mean, the pick's not going to be great since Magic. Probably going to be a playoff team. But, I mean, DeMar DeRozan is a Magic player. I mean, he isn't, but he is.
He seems like one. He's fit there.
He's the most well-fitted Magic. It's like I said, Legret's Dort is a Toronto-type player. DeMar DeRozan is a Magic-type player. And the Spurs would get Mo Bamba, who would...
Give him a fresh start.
Fresh start. It all links together. They could turn into a good player. Al-Farouq Aminu, just a player, isn't he? He's just an average roster player.
He's a good defensive player.
Yeah.
He's been injured for a while, but...
And then Aaron Gordon's just he's basically Blake Griffin, but...
A scuffed version of Blake Griffin, which that's bad. He's been poor this season.
He's Raymond Felton.
What?
No, let me finish. He's the Raymond Felton of
power
Blake
forwards.
Griffins. Like like Carl Lowry's just Raymond Felton.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Aaron Gordon and Blake Griffin.
Sure.
It works.
Sure.
Yeah. So that trade, I'd give that like a 7 of likelihood. Like, DeMar DeRozan coming to the Magic, I'd give that as like a
It's a
7.
sort of trade that's been rumoured for a while. So, I'd probably give it a 7, maybe a 6.
Originally, I was looking at, like, maybe instead of Aaron Gordon, because he's not very good, Terrence Ross going to the Spurs, which I think that both teams would much rather trade like that.
The Spurs would rather Terrence Ross, but he just had a big contract from the Magic, and he's the best bench player.
Yeah.
I can't see them ever wanting.
But the points they'd be getting from DeMar DeRozan, if he comes in and average 25 points, do they really need Terrence Ross?
Everyone needs a good bench.
You're a Philly fan. You don't have a bench.
Hey, we got Matisse.
No, Matisse, one player who's been starting recently. If you want to talk about bench, you know who to come to. This man over here.
You got one good player off the bench.
Have you never met Abdelnader, have you? Disgusting. Go on, you talk about your mess of a last trade. This might take a while. Might be hard to follow.
So, I want this to happen. Right, so let's just preface this by saying this involves the Nets, the Timberwolves, and the Warriors.
When was the last time a 3-team trade happened?
It happens every year. In the summer, there's a 14 trade with Jimmy Butler.
Oh,
Yeah, so it happens. Maybe not to this extent.
yeah. No, this is mental.
So
It's not as bad as the first one you showed me, where or the second one you showed me, where the Nets.
That was just a joke.
Yeah, where
that
the Nets gained half
about
of the NBA.
72 players.
Yeah.
So I had a bit of fun. I used my creative juices and thought,
Don't say that.
what do the Timberwolves need? They need to be relevant. The Nets. Who's the biggest problem on the Nets? Kyrie Irving. What about the Warriors? What player from the Warriors have been linked with the Timberwolves? Russell. So that's the gist of the trade. So basically, the Nets trade Kyrie Irving and some scrubs like Wilson Chandler, Justin Anderson. They trade those 3 players. In return, they get Andrew Wiggins, Jared Culver, Shabazz Napier, Jordan Bell from the Warriors, and a first-round pick. The Wolves trade those players I just mentioned, Covington and Okogie, and 2 further first-round picks to get Kyrie, D'Angelo Russell, Jacob Evans, Wilson Chandler, and Justin Anderson. And the Warriors trade D'Lo and Jacob Evans for Robert Covington and Josh Okogie, and 2 first-round picks. It's never going to happen. It's a 1 out of 10. It's not going to happen.
Can we give it a 1? I think it's a 0 out of 10.
I want this trade to happen so bad because the Nets can just get rid of their problem. The Wolves people are going to care about the Timberwolves again, and the Warriors win a championship.
Do people need to care about the Timberwolves again? Do we need people to care about the Timberwolves?
With small market teams, they just want to be relevant, and if they get Kyrie Irving, they're going to be relevant. Maybe for the wrong reasons, but they're going to be relevant. And the Warriors, like I said, they can, if they do this trade, they win a championship.
Yeah, well, I simplified this trade a lot, but then I didn't use it for my trades because you had this mental trade. I just said send D'Lo to the Timberwolves and Golden State will get Rocco and Okogie.
Yeah, that's simple, and you want to spice things up.
Because obviously Okogie would be a great bench player for them. They haven't necessarily got great guards off the bench, so Golden State would. Well, they do. They got Damian Lee in that now, but Okogie would be a good fit for a team like Golden State, decent defensively.
Yeah.
Good on offense as well. So they'll definitely win a ring.
Because I wanted to do that Covington trade where it's a very simple one, but I also wanted to do Kyrie to the Wolves. So instead of having 2 separate trades, they should chuck it all together. Make one beautiful disaster.
You've made one big mess.
But please happen. I want this shit to happen so bad. That's what I gotta say.
It's a mess. You shouldn't be kept alone with that laptop.